Hi loves, welcome back. My name is Evelyn and today we'll be doing story time. And today's story will be about how I came to America. Well, this is gonna be my side of the story because I was young. I can't tell you like I remember every single thing because they always say like when you're younger and you remember things differently. So later on I will do a video with my mom explaining her side of the story. So the first thing I want to say is it took about 3 weeks to get here, and there was 3 days we were in the desert. Those are the things I'm gonna talk about because those are the things I remember. Because they say like where you were the most traumatized or I guess scared is the things you remember when you're little. And I was only 8 when I was coming here. My youngest brother, Pablo, he was 4, and my mom was pregnant with Jose, which he's the second youngest. And yeah, that's how we started our trip. First, I remember that we flew from Guatemala to Mexico, and from Mexico, like a forest, just a forest in general. There was trees and everything. Then we met with this one guy who is a coyote, which is like what they call them, is the person that helps you cross the desert. When we first started, it was the night, dark. It was a group of us. It was a lot of us, to be honest. I can't say how many, maybe like 12 people. There was another family, so it was coming with us. It was my dad, my mom, who was pregnant, my younger brother, and me. So I was 8, he was 4, and there was another family who were coming with us. It was a husband and a wife, and the wife was pregnant as well. And I remember there was a kid and some older guys coming along as well. And we all met up with the coyote. He told us where to go and everything. So we met up. When we just started walking through the desert and everything. My brother was lucky, like my dad was carrying him, so half of the time he wasn't walking, and my mom was pregnant, so she wasn't gonna pick me up, so I was just had to walk, and I hated it. And to be honest, I say that that's why I have knee pain now all the time, because of that. But it got really dark and we got to a shed kind of thing, and we laid there, and that's where we slept. We didn't have a lot of blankets or anything. Everybody basically had like a one book bag, like this, like the ones that you use for school. My mom had one, I think my dad had one, and that's it. And we had like a small blanket, like a thin blanket, and then a fuzzy one like this one, like a very thin blanket, and that's all. And that was like our first stop in the desert. Through that night, I remember I was so scared too, because it was like so dark, like you heard like animals walking around, and I was just terrified. I was like, oh my god, I don't like bugs, and I didn't like them then, and I don't like them now. So I was like scared and everything, but I did sleep through most of the night. Then when we woke up, it's too funny because my brother still has a mark, but he got bitten by a snake in the middle of the night. Like, he got bitten and he has like a scar like right here in his chest, like down here in his chest. He has like a mark from when the snake like bit him. It wasn't poisonous, which was great, but great start of like our trip. My dad like saw it and acted immediately and everything. I know he does have a scar. This thing's too funny. We always talk about it. But yeah, and then we just continued. The more we walked, the more deserty it looked like, I guess you could say. Like there was nothing around us. And this trip was supposed to take about maybe 2 days or 3 days. So we were in the desert for 3 days actually. I talked to my mom about this because I didn't remember that much. And when we were walking, I remember at one point we walked and we passed by some skeletons, like skeletons. Like I'm not lying. Like it was, I was like surprised. Like I don't know, you know. And like my dad was like, look straight, like try not to look at it. Right, like oh my god. And there was like two head skeletons, and that scared me because like you know that means that somebody died going through the desert, and we were not even halfway done through a trip. Like we just started, and this I don't know, that was a crazy thing. The wife of the guy who, remember how I told you there was another guy, a husband and the wife was pregnant, so she started to get some pains and she didn't want to continue. She went to turn around. The kid was like, well, I'm not turning around, I have the other people, so like if you want, like I can tell you how to get back, but like you're on your own. Give instructions on how to turn back, but like you know, if you're on your own, like there's no food for you or anything, because we couldn't carry food, we couldn't carry water. Like we had some water, but like not like crazy. We couldn't carry a lot of things. Most of the things is the coyote got somebody to drop food for us at like the next stop, so like you won't get caught. So like that's how they did it. Like they would drop off food, like only in like small things, like nothing big for you to eat, or like they drop off water for us and that's it. So they left, they turned around, and my mom was like, we were talking about it the other day, and we were talking about how we don't even know if they ever made it back. Like most likely they just didn't make it back. I don't know what to say, but that's scary to think about it. Like I feel bad, but like yeah, it was crazy. And then we continued walking, but we didn't have a lot of things to carry. Like we couldn't carry a lot of things because you have to be prepared. Like the coyote told my parents like you can't bring a lot of things. Like you can't be, you know, if patrol like sees us, like we have to run. Like and you can't just be carrying things. And you have two kids, like you know, if you're gonna be carrying something, you can't have something big. So we didn't have a lot of things with us. We were almost done the desert. Remember that? We walked to like a little place. This was when we made it to like Arizona, kind of. And it was a safe house for just like that night. That night, like we were actually in a house, which is like, you know, awesome and everything. Some people that were coming with us, like the guys, they got in a fight, something like that. And the coyotes like really don't deal with that. Like if you're fighting, if anything, they will leave you behind. Like they don't care. They don't care. You pay them, well, the money's theirs. They don't care no more. Like you want to start something, they'll leave you behind. Like you go ahead and like say something wrong to them, they will leave you behind. Like they don't care. Like they're just there to like get you across, and that's it. When we were in the house, like I already told my parents like what we had to do, but he was gonna go back to go get like another group. So he was like, you guys are gonna meet another coyote in this place, this and that. So after that one night we were there, and all the situation happened, the coyote was like, hey, you guys have, their train's gonna come at this time, and at this time there's gonna be people in like the train car, yeah, and there's gonna be one that's gonna be open, and you have to jump, like basically while the train is moving you have to jump in, and you have to get in. Like that's the way to get to the other side, to get to like the next part of how to get through the desert and everything. Let me tell you how my dad over here, like he threw me and my brother, and then my mom and him got onto the next car, like, you know, try to get it really fast. And there was people there that like basically catching people, like catching everything. And then the lady from the house, like she gave us food, like she threw like food at us, just like, you know, like stuff that you guys could get, like to people. Some people were already in the carts, like from I guess other coyotes, other places. So they were already in the carts, and the train was moving so fast. I'm telling you, this is like a movie. Like, I don't know what movie was it, but I saw the same thing happen, and I was just like, I can't believe I did that. Like, I really did that. You know, like, my dad threw me in there, but still, I did that. Oh my god, it was crazy. I can't, like, ever forget that. That was insane. The next spot we went on, and, like, we got off the train, but kind of like we were seen by, like, somebody, you know, that patrols the whole thing. And we had to run, like, really fast and everything. And we got away, so we were hiding and everything. We were, like, near a highway. And when we were near the highway is when everything happened. Like, when you were near the highway, that's basically the end point of, like, we're basically in Arizona, so like we were basically in US soil. So our last step was to basically hide on these little bushes that are on the side of the highway, and these two vans were gonna come and stop in the middle of the highway, and you have to like run into them like really fast before like the patrol sees you, like, you know, the police or whatever sees you. So we like one van comes and stops, and these people go in, right? And we were gonna go in, but then we see some cops coming. So, and my dad didn't want us to separate. Like, he didn't want, if, like, you know, the kids to go in that van and then my mom and him go in another van. Like, no, he wanted all of us together. So we stayed behind. That van started running, you know, driving away really fast because they seen the cops coming. So police started shooting, like, basically our way, and we were hiding under the bush. And I just remember that we were hiding, and we were with the coyote, the other coyote that we were met with. He starts digging, and he puts like all his money in there, and like his pistol and everything. He starts hiding it basically. The next van is about to pull up. Hard to get into a van that's moving, kind of, because they're actually like not stop. Like, they're a little bit moving because they can't, because if they stay, you know, they can get caught. So it's like a fast moving thing, which is like literally like a movie. And we're about to get in, and some cops, I guess, see us, or like patrol, whatever, border patrol, whatever it's called. I don't know what it was. But they come and they basically start shooting our way, you know, to stop like the whole thing. And we go to hide again, and we basically missed our chance. Like, we missed it. We get basically caught. Like, we get caught by the police. They split me and my brother to a juvenile, I guess, prison, you could say. And my mom and dad were separated because, you know, men and a woman. So they separated. We couldn't contact our parents. They couldn't contact us. It took a couple, like almost a week or so for us to get in contact with them. Like, I was terrified. I can honestly say I was terrified. Me and my brother were separated from, like, I guess, you know, girls and boys separated like that. And I remember him staying there, and he just like cried every day because, you know, he really wanted my mom and my dad. And I was like trying to tell him, like, it's okay, we will be with them, blah blah, this and that. Me having no idea what was going on, not knowing if we're ever gonna see them, not having contact with them. And we were like basically enclosed in somewhere, and there was a place where we slept, and then there was in the middle of like where there's a field, there was like a small like building, like a little school. And that's all I remember from there. We were basically in the juvenile facility, and then later on we get in contact with mom because our mom goes in labor. The baby was early is because she was really stressed from, you know, her kids being taken away and her being in prison. Like, the whole situation just like got to her. Mom almost had him in prison, seriously, because they didn't believe she was in labor, like, at first. Like, she's probably just acting, you know, because, you know, why would they believe somebody they just caught and, you know, try to sneak in here? So it was a whole situation. That's just my story. Just a brief little insight on how I got to America. Well, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up, share, give me some insight. If you have any questions, let me know.